Hello children, let us revise the lesson Story of Amrita. We saw that Story of Amrita is real life story based out of Kejadli village in Rajasthan. This is near Jodhpur. Real life story ennu paranu. This happened around 300 years ago. Kejadli is a village wherein there are so many Kejadi trees. Kore Kejadi trees ulla village aanu, and the name of the village is Kejadli. She grew up loving trees. Trees were her best friends. So as a child, she was taught that agar paid hai to hum hai. So her elders made children of the village understand that trees and animals can live without us, but we cannot live without trees and animals around us. We know we get fresh air, we get shade, we get our food from different plants and trees around us. So she grew up loving and respecting trees because that was what she was taught by her elders. Trees are very important. If trees are not there, we cannot survive without trees, wherein trees can survive without us. So naturally, you start loving the trees around you and respecting the trees. Like other children in the village, Amrita grew up loving trees. We know trees were her best friend. How she made friendship with trees, how she would put her hand around trees and talk to them as we talk to our friends. So trees were her best friends. Many years later, she was grown up. So many years later, Amrita saw few strangers in her village. They had come to cut the trees as per the king's order. The king wanted some woods for some building. So he had ordered his people to go and cut trees. So they had come to Kejadli village and Amrita saw them with few axes and all. So when she interacted with them, she knew that they had come to cut trees. She was shocked when she heard that they have come to cut trees, because she grew up listening to her elders who said trees are very important. Agar पेड़ नहीं है तो हम नहीं है. So for a girl who grew up loving trees and respecting trees in that manner, couldn't believe that somebody could cut trees. So she resisted their effort. She went and hugged trees so that they'll not cut the trees. But they were there on the king's orders. So they couldn't disobey the king. So they had to cut the trees. So they had to... so Amrita gave up her life before the strangers could cut the trees. Along with Amrita, other villagers also joined to resist cutting of trees, but they could not stop the people from cutting trees. So Amrita, her children and many villagers lost their life before the strangers could cut the trees. Now the king came to know of this and he was very upset. He couldn't believe that there are people who could give up their lives for trees. The king was very disturbed by this incident, so he himself visited the village, which shows the kindness of the king. That was a good gesture by the king to visit the village himself. Then he understood how the people in that village respected the trees and animals. So he ordered that no more trees will be cut from Kejadli village. The community which Amrita belonged to is called the Vaishnavi community, and still they protect trees and animals. We saw that it is in Rajasthan. We know many parts of Rajasthan is a desert and rarely trees grow in deserts. But Kejadli village still has many trees and you can see animals roaming freely around that village. Then there is a brief description given about the Kejadi tree. The Kejadi tree is found mainly in desert areas. It can grow without much water. Its bark is used for making medicines. People cook and eat its fruits. Its wood is such that it will not be affected by insects. Animals in this area eat the leaves of kejadi, and children like you play in its shade. Now, there are many trees. Rajasthan's state tree is kejadi. Similarly, our own state of Kerala, we know there are so many coconut trees. So, coconut tree is our state tree. Similarly, India has a tree. Our own country, India, has a national tree, which is the banyan tree. So, banyan tree is a national tree. So, different states have different trees. National tree ആയിട്ട് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ട്രീ ആയിട്ട് ഓരോ സ്റ്റേറ്റ്സിനും ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് ട്രീസ് പറയാറുണ്ട്. We find coconut trees commonly around us. We use coconut trees for many purposes. Like you might have seen some houses having their thatch roofs made of coconut trees. വീട്ടിൻ്റെ ഓല മേഞ്ഞ വീടുകൾ എന്നൊക്കെ പണ്ട് പറയും. അപ്പം അങ്ങനെ ഓല മേയാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് യൂസ് ചെയ്യണത് എന്താണ്? കോക്കനട്ട് ട്രീസ് ആണ്. Olden days, people used to make variety of toys using coconut tree ഉണ്ട്. Coconut treeയുടെ palm ഉണ്ട്. ഓലയെ കൊണ്ട് different kinds of toys ഉണ്ടാക്കണ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. Then baskets are made, hats are made. There are so many things that are made out of അതിൻ്റെ leaves ഉണ്ട്. Coconut treeയുടെ leaves ഉണ്ട് ഉണ്ടാക്കണ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. അല്ലേ? I am sure you too might have seen the leaves of coconut trees used in different ways. Of course, we eat coconut. We use it in different dishes that are prepared in our houses. Then we use coconut oil. Like that is about coconut tree. Similarly, ഓരോ സ്റ്റേറ്റിനും കോമൺ ആയിട്ട് അതിൻ്റെ കണ്ടീഷൻസ് അനുസരിച്ചിട്ട് you can see some common trees around them. Then different states have different state trees. So we know about medicinal plants. Neem. Like neem is a medicinal plant. Neem it's very good for the skin. Neem oil to protect from insect bites എന്നൊക്കെ പ്രൊട്ടക്ട് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് neem oil യൂസ് ചെയ്യും. Then it is good for the neem is very good for it is used in different medicines. It's good for teeth. So neem is one kind of medicinal tree that that is very common around us. Neem matralla, there are different medicinal trees that we find around us. Pala herbs illengil pala trees ennu kittana fruits, they are all used for making medicines. So we know trees are really important. We get food from trees. Then different medicines are made from trees. നമ്മുടെ വീട്ടിലൊക്കെ ചെറിയ ചെറിയ അസുഖങ്ങളൊക്കെ വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ കോൾഡിന് we use തുളസി. Then turmeric is used for, turmeric is a good antiseptic. അല്ലേ? ബോഡിയിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഇൻഫ്ലമേഷൻസ് ഉണ്ടെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ it is said that turmeric is very good to remove inflammation. So ഇതുപോലത്തെ പല ഹെർബ്സും പ്ലാന്റ്സും ഒക്കെ നമ്മൾ മെഡിസിൻസ് ആയിട്ടും യൂസ് ചെയ്യാറുണ്ട്. Then we saw seed dispersal. Different methods of seed dispersal. Dispersal by air, dispersal by explosion, dispersal by water. Then how animals access means of seed dispersal. So seed dispersal എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ parent tree away ആയിട്ട് we can see trees growing in different locations. So how do trees grow there? It grows from seeds. How does seed reach the അത്രയും ദൂരത്ത് parent tree അത്രയും ദൂരത്ത് എങ്ങനെയാണ് seed വരുന്നത്? That seed dispersal explains how seeds are planted in different locations. So I hope this lesson is clear to you children. Please watch the video. In case if you have any doubts, please do post it in the stream. That's all for today. Thank you and take care.